everyone, welcome back. I like to share with you guys different combinations using the Too Faced chocolate bar, but there is kind of a creative process, few things that I do when I'm creating a new look or when I'm just doing my makeup. How I use some of those concealers that creases or that they don't work for me, but I still want to use them up. I mean, those are just a few of the things that I found a technique or a way to use them every time I do my makeup. So in this video, I'm not only going to share with you the makeup that I'm wearing right now, but also a few of the things that I do when I'm doing my makeup, and maybe I don't share them just because I don't want to make the videos very long. So I wanted to show you a before and after so you could see how the makeup look is going to look at the end, since this is a full face tutorial. But I'm going to start with the lip product. Even if I have a matte lip color or have a liquid lipstick, I usually put lip balm and then that color on top. And that kind of guides me through the makeup look that I will be doing for the day. If I don't like how it goes with the eye look, then I remove it and apply other product, but I want to make sure that I at least use the product that I'm trying to pan once a day, and applying it before I start doing my makeup is the best way for me. So if it's a lip balm, I'll put it before I start my makeup. If it's a liquid lipstick too, if it's just a matte regular lipstick, and that's how it works for me. So I can kind of base on that color, find the perfect combination for my eyes, or at least try, and if it doesn't work, I can change it. Then I usually do my eyebrows. I'm using the Anastasia Deep Brow Pomade, and the only trick here is finding the perfect brush that works for you. Now this is a concealer, or actually a corrector, that is very pink, so I'm usually using this kind of product as an eye base with a very thin layer. Then I'm going to set it with this pigment by Pixi, and I love this to use it in different makeup looks, but in order to have more progress in my panning, I also set my eye primer with this color, which is one of the best things that you can do, especially if you want that light base to cover the darkness in your eyelids. Then I'm going to use concealer. This concealer creases, so if I have to wipe it off, I can totally do that if I have any fallout. That's my way. I know people use some powder. I don't like to use powder. I like to use a concealer because that gives me even skin and I can be more creative on my eye look. If I have the dark circles, I never end up looking the eye look. So for me, it's important. And as you can see, I have no foundation or anything. I started with the color Strawberry Bonbon and I applied it all over the lid. Now in this case, I wet the brush because I wanted to make sure that I can get that pigmentation that you see right there. Don't be afraid to use a matte eyeshadow wet, because sometimes that does make a difference. Then I'm going to move on to the crease color, which is the color Semi Sweet, and I'm going to apply it into the outer corner and also into the crease. Now, one thing that I wanted to share with you is sometimes you can get kind of messy. So I don't mind if I get kind of messy, because as you can see, I don't have my foundation. I only have the concealer. So that gives me a little bit more freedom, and in whatever happens, I can remove it with a makeup wipe or fix it with concealer. Then I'm applying the color White Chocolate in the brow bone area, just to make sure that I highlight and also blend the crease color. Then I'm taking the color Salted Caramel and I'm gonna go on top of the crease shade. If you find that the crease shade it's kind of dark, or you don't like how it's looking, or the blending is not perfect, there's nothing better than putting a light color of the same kind of shade, like this one in this case is a little bit of a lighter brown, and then you blend it, and that way you will create more of a soft, well blended effect. Now as you can see right there, I kind of went crazy and I pulled the eyeshadows to the too much to the outsides of the look. So what I'm doing here is getting angle brush and making sure that I clean up everything with concealer. This is the same concealer that kind of creases on me, but since it's going to go underneath the foundation, or actually if you know kind of mess up or something, I can even remove it. I don't mind it. So after I clean that area, I go in with another brush and make sure that everything looks very well blended. Then once again, I go in with the blending brush and making sure that all the edges and everything are okay and I didn't kind of put concealer in the wrong areas. Then I'm using this eyeliner. This is a beautiful eyeliner. I will link it in the description box, but if you want to use a little bit more of cherry cordial, applying a pink eyeliner or a red eyeliner, it does make a difference because it makes the color cherry cordial pop a lot more. So I'm using that as a base, and then I'm going with an eyeliner brush into cherry cordial and setting that. So as you can see, it takes more of the burgundy of that eyeshadow and takes a little bit of the intensity of the pink that you can see in the top lash line. So I'm going to take my time, fill them in, and make sure that I set that eyeliner, not because it moves or anything, because it's a great formula, but just because I want it to be more burgundy. Then I'm using a black eyeliner in my top waterline just to make sure that it looks very even for the lashes that I'm gonna use. And then just to make sure that the concealer doesn't move, the one that we know creases or that I know that creases, I'm going to get my Makeup Forever concealer and set that other concealer. Now make sure that you don't do a thick layer when you apply the very first concealer that we apply. It's just for the purposes of me looking at the eyeshadows and liking how the combination is coming off. Sometimes when I have the dark circles, I can't really see the look working for me, so for me it's really important. After I kind of set the other concealer with the one that doesn't move, like the Makeup Forever doesn't crease or move, then I'm gonna move on to priming my face. I usually do it before, but I kind of forgot, and I can totally do it after doing my concealer. So I'm using the Milk Blur Stick, and then I apply a little bit of the Skindinavia primer water, which is something that I want to use up because I had in my collection for quite some time. So you can do a combination. I usually do a combination of primers. Then I'm using the foundation that I have in the project pan for the month of June, and I'm using a flat foundation brush just to make sure that I don't blend away all the concealer that I have underneath, and that it's actually helping the foundation to make my skin a lot more even. Then I am applying my lashes. These are the Demi lashes by Ardell, and I'm going back to the face and blending it with the Beauty Blender just to make sure that I don't have any excess foundation, since I apply it with a flat shader, oh, not a flat shader, but with a flat foundation brush. Now, one thing that you should do every single time you apply some false lashes is go over your eyeliner. So if it's a liquid eyeliner, look at the difference. It doesn't look crooked. The other one looks kind of crooked because it's how you apply the lashes that make the line look kind of crooked. So after you apply the lashes, make sure you set or you go over your lash line again with the eyeliner that you use in order to have it more even. Then I apply the color Cherry Cordial in my lower lash line, and in the waterline I'm using a purple eyeliner that is from the same line of the pink one that I use in my top lash line. So this is going to be a little bit darker, so it's going to make it smokier. At the same time, I'm going to blend it to create more that smoky effect. Then I'm gonna go with a little bit of mascara. Remember, if you're using any kind of eyeshadows or eyeliner in your bottom lash line, you have to make sure that you apply mascara. And then after I'm done with my eyes, I'm moving on to my face. Now, one of the things that I like to do is highlight even before I bronze or I apply the blush, just because I find that that way I can do a couple of layers. As you can see right there, I went in with a fan brush, just applying a little bit, and then with this one that is a little bit more dense, I can do a couple of layers and not looking like too much. Then I'm using the powder blush that I'm trying to finish by Physicians Formula, and I'm using with the applicator. And what I usually do is apply it with one side, and then just to make sure that it's well blended, or at least just to make sure that it's in the right place, I go back and forth, as you can see right there, from one side to the other and blend that color. Finally, I'm going to apply the bronzer, and this is going to go in the perimeters of my face and also into the area where we contour, and that way we create something a little bit more cohesive, and the highlighter, the blush, and the bronzer, they kind of become one really good blend
blended product. Then since I have three products that I'm trying to pan, I'm using the Wet n Wild lip liner, just the contours and fill them in. I also use a Tarte lip cream, I think that's what they are. And on top, to make it a little bit more neutral, I'm using the color Noisette by Jouer, which is one of my favorite shades. So it becomes lighter, it becomes a little bit more pinky, but I'm using two other products that I'm trying to finish. So that's the final look. I mean, it's nothing incredibly hard or anything, but I just wanted to share with you not only this combination, but some of the things that I like to do in order to use those products that I have in different projects, and maybe share with you a little bit more in depth of the process, or share with you a little bit more of the things that sometimes get cut off in order to save a little bit of time when I'm doing this video. So I hope that you enjoy it. If you have any tips, leave them in the comments down below, and I will see you on my next video.
Anyways, that was it for this video. I hope that you found any tips or something that you can incorporate into your makeup routine, and it will make it a lot easier. Maybe something that you want to try. I hope that this was helpful. So anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you on my next video.